In today's other news, the small village of Sidgecherry has had its bin collection day moved, causing a significant disruption to villagers' way of life. Our reporter, Jeremy Jolston, is at the scene. Jeremy.
The past month here in Sidgecherry has seen an unprecedented transformation in the socio-economic landscape and the psychological well-being of its inhabitants. The locals here are so used to their bins going out on Thursday, and now that the bin day has changed to Friday, it has seen an evolution in the psyche and day-to-day lives of all Sidgecherry residents. Sidgecherry is a village where life moves slowly, with change occurring over long periods of time. So a spontaneous change like this can only mean an upheaval of routines that are so imperative to livelihoods. Some are against it, some are for it, and some are only just realizing it's happened. I interviewed a range of locals and this is what they had to say.
It's absolutely crazy. I can't believe you think this was needed. I can hardly manage my week as it is. Hence this happening on a Friday, it's messed my week up completely.
It's completely messed up our week. We don't know whether we're coming or going, do we?
No.
I mean, it's just such a burden. I mean, I've got my job to think about, I've got, errands to run, and now I've got this to deal with at the end of the week.
It's thrown us off course completely.
Nightmare.
Nightmare.
It's a nightmare.
It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare.
What we really need is some proper infrastructure and some healthcare. So changing the bin days is not something that's welcome in the grand scheme of things. It just serves to disrupt the balance.
I am used to my schedule. I wake up on a Thursday morning and I take the bins out. That's just how it is. But now that bin day has changed to Friday morning, that means Friday morning has to be rejigged, and then Saturday morning has to be altered. It just causes mayhem.
However troublesome it seems, there are some who welcome the change.
I quite like it, to be honest. It feels like I'm getting that extra line on a Thursday, and on Friday it gives me that morning bus to take on with the day. It's almost like a finish line is in sight. I am enjoying it.
I've always liked to have a lot more to do towards the end of the week. Just because I feel I can get a lot more done that way. And that puts me in a productive mood. Like, if everything happens throughout the week, it can get you bogged down. But if you've got a lot more to do on a Friday, it just means you can have a more relaxing midweek and Saturday, really. And then I can really get going on my Saturday.
The impact of this change has had such severe implications that it has even caused a divorce.
The stress was just unbearable. We just couldn't decide who was going to take the bins out every other Friday. It was a right disaster. It uncovered a lot of underlying issues we had, and honestly, it's brave to make these kind of decisions, knowing they're difficult, but what's best for us. We have to look out for our own well-being.
You ready to go, babe? Hop in.
Stop the microphone!
Well, these things can happen. It's best to just move forward as best you can, really. The bins were just the final straw for us, really. It's a sign of the times. It's shown us that we're best off apart, to follow what's best for us. And I really do believe that we've grown a lot through this experience.
Are we going now, babe?
Hell yeah, baby. Let's roll.
The microphone, please.
Oh, sorry.
However, the change hasn't entirely been catastrophic. Some have greatly benefited from it, like this newly formed couple who met as a result of the bins going out the next morning.
Yeah, well, I was just out for my morning run and it was quite wild. I nearly ran into you.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I was quickly checking the bins out that morning and then, like I say, we nearly crashed right into each other, didn't we?
It was like super startling and I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
And then I was like, yeah, I'm sorry. And then I said to you, you're out for your morning run and I'm out for my bin run. So fitness and bin day go hand in hand.
And it's been amazing ever since then. We've not even looked back. Modern day romance.
The variety of the effects this has had on the small community here is evident. So to understand this better, we've sought the knowledge and insight of an expert.
As more time passes, we will see a fluctuation in the habits and the mentality of these people, what they dedicate their energy to, their spending priorities, their relationships with one another. And this will directly correlate with the new bin cycle, which will have a significant change on morale.
What can we expect from the significant change to the population's quality of life and their general proclivities altering to such a degree?
Well, with this transformation of philosophical outlook, we will see an impact on the economy, deflation and inflation in different areas at different times. We'll see a vital evolution of relationships in both business and personal lives. This will have a massive effect on morale, Jeremy. It could set off a chain reaction that could lead to civil war or a symbiotic haven.
The inhabitants of Sidgecherry Village face an uncertain time which may be extremely challenging and push them to their limits. The future may lead to ruin or it may lead to salvation. However, one thing is for certain. The bins won't be going out on Thursday. Instead, the bins will be going out on Friday. Jeremy Jolston, Sidgecherry Village, Grapevine News.
Thank you, Jeremy. Now on to Susan with today's weather. Susan.